Hey everyone, this week we're going to be talking about why the depth range selective mask tool might be greyed out for you in Lightroom. I was using Lightroom recently and I was in the selective masking tools area and I realised that there was a tool in there called depth range which was greyed out. I couldn't click on it with the image that I was using and that got me curious. I wondered why that was happening. So I did a little bit of research and long story short, you can only use that feature with certain types of image, and that's any kind of image that has got a depth map embedded within it. So you might have seen certain smartphones which will take an image and it will automatically work out the background area and the foreground subject area and blur out the background so that you've got a depth of field effect within the image. Well, that's a depth map basically. So newer models of iPhone have this feature built in with portrait mode. You can bring a HEIC file into Lightroom and use the depth range feature. And I think also the Lightroom mobile app has an inbuilt camera in the app which will also let you use this feature as well. There might be some other models of phone that can do this. If you do know any, put them in the comments just down below and help us all out. But we're going to dive in now and look at how this works. Okay, so we can take a look at this image of an egg and a spoon. And we'll notice that if we go up to selective masks here, depth range is greyed out. And that's because this image was taken without any kind of depth map embedded within it. However, if we take a look at this image, this was taken on a recent iPhone and it's a HEIC file. And when that's taken in portrait mode, it does embed a depth map within the image. So we can see now that that option is selectable. So if we click on that, we'll see this slider appear in this pane here, and we can tweak this much the same way as we would the luminance range slider. And you'll see that the red area, that's our selected area, or it's going to be our selected area. And when I pull this slider back and forward, I can change which part of the image is affected. So I'm going to bring this left hand side up until the vase in the foreground has not got any red on it. I can tweak the edges just by pulling up this slider here. And that's looking okay. However, we have got an area just on this side here which hasn't been selected. So we could continue to tweak this, but the problem is if I pull that back, we have got this area selected in red now, but it's selected the vase again. So what I'm going to need to do is add to my selection. So let me just get this back to where it was, around about there. What I'm going to do is click on add here. So when I do this, I can add any other type of selection mask to my current mask. So I'm going to choose brush, and now with my brush tool I can just paint in that area there. And now any amends I make will affect all of this red area, and so it will affect the background equally behind the vase, but not affect the vase itself. So what I could do is bring down the clarity and texture, and that'll just blur out the background even more. I could bring down the dehaze slightly and just brighten that background, make it a bit more misty. Or if I wanted it darker, I could bring down the exposure, for example. I could change the white balance. There's all kinds of things you can do with this. And it's just one more way that you can select an area within Lightroom. It complements the other selective mask tools that are already there. But this is quite a good way of selecting a background if you've got a depth map within your image already, because it's already got that data defined within the image. So that's how you can use the depth range selective mask tool in Lightroom and why it sometimes might be greyed out for you. That's about it for this week. It's been nice and short and sweet. I did want to get out, but it's been a bit rainy recently, but hopefully next week I can get out and do a video outdoors. If you're new to the channel and you're not yet subscribed and you'd like to do so, you can click down here on the big red button or over here on my face. That way you'll keep up to date with everything I'm doing each and every week. There's a new video every Sunday morning, 10 AM UK time. Big thanks to everyone who watches every week. I really do appreciate it, as always. And I hope you'll catch me next week for the next video. But until then, thanks a lot everyone, and bye for now.